Welcome to the big show. Welcome to the Inland Sports Show. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you tuning in on this Wednesday night. If you like high school baseball, you are in the right place. A lot of high school baseball tonight. We are going to be cooking on the diamond. We got the Corona High School Panthers in just a moment, the number one team in the nation, the reigning CIF Southern Section Division I champions, the reigning National High School Invitational champions, which they're in North Carolina this week trying to defend that title. Very excited to have Corona on. We're also going to have the Aquinas Falcons, which depending on which rankings you look at, for example, Max Preps, I think they've got Aquinas number 4 in the state right now. They are 13-1. They've beaten some really good teams. They won the National Classic High School Tournament, which had a lot of great teams. They're going to be at I think it's the All Faiths Classic in Las Vegas. A lot of great private schools will be out there as well. So Aquinas and Corona Baseball in the same show. It's going to be epic. That's coming up. We're also going to talk to the Cajon Cowboys head coach Robert Grande. We got highlights from the county clash. We had that game live between Cajon and Yucaipa on IEMG. We'll show you some of the highlights. We'll hear from Coach Grande. Let's see, what else we got? Oh, highlights from the 66ers home opener just last night. We got some great highlights as the Sixers got their first win of the season, also their first home game of the year, so that was pretty cool out there, so you can sound the horn for that one in the Sixers. We'll talk some Riverside Poly Boys Volleyball and some high school softball as well. But without further ado, the Corona High School baseball team is certainly living up to all the hype, and I don't know if even hype is a fair word because these guys are just flat out good. Corona High School is probably going to have 3 first-round Major League Baseball draft picks. They got Division I guys up and down that batting order in that lineup. Some great pitchers like Seth Hernandez, who's probably going to be a top 3, top 5 pick in the Major League Baseball draft. So they were awesome last year, the Division I champions of the world. This year, they might be even better. They just got a lot of talent. And head coach Andy Wise is doing another phenomenal job managing all this talent, all these great players. And here's our interview with Corona High School, man. Very excited about this. Big shout out to Coach Wise for making this happen because they got, they're the hottest ticket in town, man. Like he says, it's like a circus out there right now. Plus all the travel plans to get the team out to North Carolina for the NHSI. So here is the Corona High School Panthers here on the Inland Sports Show. Check it out. Inland Sports. All right, now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. These guys are the top baseball team anywhere, maybe ever. We're going to get Coach Andy Wise's take. Oh, he gave me the people's eyebrow. He lifted his eyebrow a little bit. Coach, I'm not the first one to say this, probably not the last one to say this, but, it's out there that this Corona baseball team might be the best high school baseball team, period, ever. Like, what's your reaction when you hear something like that?
As the coach and the ringmaster, as we discussed a second earlier, of this kind of circus, I hear that a lot from everybody, you guys, you media folks, and some, people on the word on the street. But that's not my judgment to make, and I won't make that until the end. It's obviously a great group, and once again, that's not my judgment. Individually, these guys have all the accolades, and they're being looked at, and this and that, Major League Baseball, college, and so on and so forth. But until you do it, you can't really say that. So with the talent that we have and the schedule that we have behind us and in front of us, if we were to pull off, the whole enchilada, then maybe you can have that discussion as, yeah, we are maybe one of or the best team ever or something like that. But that is almost, you see me with the people's eyebrow, as you said. Don't make me drop the people's elbow on anybody as well. But that's borderline ridiculous to even have the conversation for me because we're locked in and doing what we need to do. And I've been preaching one pitch at a time for as long as I've been a coach, and I'm not changing that now. So we're kind of just we're grinding it out, as they say. And there's no time to sit here and pat ourselves on the back or prop ourselves up and say we're this, that, or whatever. So we're just genuinely just doing it. And if we want to reflect on this later, and if we were to do what we might be able to do, then maybe we could say that.
Coach, it's probably a sports cliche. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. And obviously, the end game for you guys is another championship. So all these rankings, all these accolades, it probably won't mean anything, right? Unless you guys go back to back.
It means nothing. It will in the end. Once again, if you say that, if we were to, be number one and be number one again, that's rare air. That doesn't happen very often. You don't get these kind of opportunities. So we're not trying to make too much of it. We're not getting caught up in it and a big conversation. We got to stay number one. That's not the game. It's not what we do. It's not how I teach. It's not how I was taught. So practice is the big focus of the day. We got work to do today to get ready for next week. So.
Well, Coach, I'm not calling you a spectator, but you got a front row seat to a team that's 13-0, 11 shutouts so far on this season. From your point of view, what is this team excelling at right now? Why have you guys been able to dominate the way you have?
Well, don't cheat us, Pep, because we're 14-0 with 12 shutouts. So
that's right.
I need you to watch.
Forgot that last King game.
You're right. I get that front row seat and I'm kind of just guiding. I feel like, I got the rod and I'm just kind of directing a little bit here and there. These guys all know how to play. They all know how to get down. They all have been great teammates so far. A lot of support for each other. They appreciate each other's work and grind. And yeah, I'm just the director, man, for real. Like, there's no secrets. We're not tricking anybody with anything we do. We're coming right at you. This is what we do. This is what we're going to do. And we've been executing that, and it's been going well. And of course, there's bumps in the road a little bit where you got to, once again, get the rod out. Hey, slow down, speed up, whatever the case might be. And that's it. We're just really keeping it as simple as possible.
All right, Coach, you got 3 talented and good-looking players around you right now. We got Robert, Jaden, and Josh as well. Do you want to introduce them real quick, Coach, and tell them what makes them, impactful to your team?
Yeah, these are 3 seniors right here, and they all have their own little road or story of what's going on here. JD here, Jaden Daya. These are all great students, so I'm not going to sit here and can each one guy say a great student. These are all really good students right here. I'm very proud. They've been in the program for 4 years, all 3 of these guys. Jaden Dye isn't one of the most talked about guys or whatever the case, but we got all these big-time arms on the staff, and we've really genuinely only used 6, 7 guys. And JD here has gotten the brunt of some work right there and has stepped up and done a great job. We put him in a lot of tough situations last year, and he succeeded. So we knew coming in that we could count on him, and he's done nothing but get better, improve his game, and go out there and give us an even better effort. So that's Jaden Daya. Robert Rubio's a grinder over here. Robert's a 4-year guy, just got to the varsity this year, worked it out. We had his brother Byron in the program, and now he's here, and it looks like little brother might come next year or the year after. Is it next year, Robert? Next year. So we're going to be we're the generational group right here with this crew. And then when I get to Josh Sir back here, I got his dad over here. So if we're talking about generational Panthers, here they are. And Josh has been with me probably since about 5th grade. As a bat boy, and he's paid his dues. He's blood, sweat, and tears on this field genuinely. He's been spiked as a bat boy and had to go to the ER. He started for us last year. We split some time as far as a hitter, continue to get better, and he's in the thickets of our lineup, having success, and it's just awesome to watch these guys.
All right, Coach, I'm going to go around the horn. I'll start with Josh Sir in the back. And Josh, his team 14-0, as I just found out. What has made this team so good in talent? Obviously, there's a lot of talent, but sometimes talent just doesn't win all the ball games. What's beyond the talent? What are you guys doing well so far, Josh?
Be loud.
I would say we all compete with each other. Like, we're some of the best in the nation, of course, and we all compete with each other in the locker room, on the field. We have like little games in between. I would say practices, playing 2-ball. We like to compete. I don't know what to say to you. I have no idea to say.
Compete, baby. That's it.
Compete, really.
And have fun, right, Coach? I mean, you got to enjoy this process.
Absolutely. And this is great for these guys because they don't get this opportunity all the time. So it's fun to get through and get better at it. And yeah, as Josh is trying to say right here, there is just ultimate competition within competition. Whether it's ping pong in the locker room, he's talking about 2-ball outside as people are done cleaning up. And that might be the most energetic I see these guys is when somebody loses in 2-ball and everybody starts clowning everybody or cheering for the other guy, whatever the case might be. So pretty cool.
All right, Jaden Daya. Jaden, you guys are heading to the National High School Invitational again, try to win another title. What do you think it's going to take for you guys to go back there and beat some really good teams and hoist that championship trophy?
Honestly, I think we got to just kind of have a clear path to our road. I think, like Josh said, we're all competitors. So I think we're all, as a team, going to have like that bond to work our way through like some obstacles in the road, obviously throughout the tournament, but I think just also having positivity, like just being positive and like confident, knowing that we're gonna win, and we all got the talent. Like I think we just got to believe in ourselves and in each other, and I think we'll repeat.
All right, good stuff, Jaden. And finally, Robert Rubio. Robert, you're rocking the mustache, so you must be the best looking guy of the group here for the Corona Panthers. But Robert, so obviously you guys are trying to go back to back and win another CIF championship this season, but that's tough, man. Any sport, any level, it's tough to go back to back. What do you think is key for this Panthers team to stay on that right track to win another championship?
What I think is key is just us bonding together, being great teammates to each other. You know, having that connection with each other just makes us a better team than other guys. You know, no one's out here having fun like we are, and we just do things our way, and that's what's working for us right now.
All right, good stuff, Robert. Finally, Coach, I'm going to go back to you to wrap this up. You're going to the National High School Invitational, the NHSI. I believe that's in Cary, North Carolina, right? The home of USA Baseball. What's it going to take to do it again and get another trophy?
Go get him, Seth. I'm just kidding.
Good
You know,
coach right there.
well, everybody, it starts at game one. You know what I mean? People are like, hey, why don't you do this, that, or whatever? Like, man, don't talk to me about a championship game or whatever the case might be. We really got to go day one and do our thing. And we overlook nobody. This is baseball, and a bad hop, a bad call, a tough weather, a great effort by the other team, a light day on your end. Things happen. So we really just trying to lock it in and play our best baseball. We overlook nobody. We know we're good, but we're not going to sit here, like I said earlier, and pat ourselves on the back. We're here to get it done. And there's many goals ahead of us. So, and this isn't the end for these group individually. These guys are going to play a lot of baseball after this. So there's no time to sit here and look at it in that regard. We're here to go play our best baseball in each pitch, each inning, each game. So that's really the goal. I think it keeps us grounded and simple. And that's what it's going to take for us to go win this. And it's not going to be easy. And there's always some kind of luck in it. So in any kind of winning at this level, there's so many good teams and so many good programs, whether it's going to be out there in North Carolina or we come back home for any kind of CIF Division I effort. There's so many good teams, good programs, good coaches out here that you really just got to stay locked in, stay grounded. Don't get ahead of yourself.
But I like your strategy, Coach. You got 3 probable first-round MLB draft picks. Hey, Seth, here's the ball. Go do your thing.
Can't do that every day, buddy. So you got to pick and choose when that is. And I think on my end, I've really been cognizant of taking care of these guys physically to where we're not asking too much of them and make sure everything's going right for them. There's so much on the line, career-wise, financially, however you want to look at it, that what kind of fool would the Johnny high school coach be to be putting those guys in tough spots physically to not have them be at their best and looked at as the best by the guys making those decisions.
Well, Coach Andy Wise, always appreciate the time. Thank you for making this happen, man. I know you guys, you might call it the circus, but you're the hottest ticket in town. Let's be honest, man. Everybody loves going out to the Wilk and watching Corona baseball, so I really appreciate you making time for us. Safe travels out to North Carolina, and hopefully you guys bring home that championship.
No, appreciate you, Pep. Yep. No, we love it out here. We love to put out a good product and love to have people come out and enjoy themselves. We've had tons of little league dudes coming around. The firemen have been posting up and raising up over the fence to get the good view for the games. And it's just been a great community effort. And on my end to you, Pep, there's a lot of dudes coming around, but you're always going to be one in my heart, dude. You were here from the start, and you're my first day, brother. So I'll always be with you, dude. And I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having us again.
Yes, sir. The OG Andy Wise, Robert Rubio, Jaden Daya, Josh Sir join us here on the Inland Sports Show. Thank you so much, guys.
Right on, Pat. Appreciate you, dude.
Inland Sports. Man, is there anybody better than Andy Wise? Such a cool dude. Great baseball coach, obviously. Super good team. As we mentioned, they're in North Carolina right now. We had to do that interview a little bit early, so if you're watching the show, Corona is playing today on Wednesday against Castile from Arizona in that first game at the NHSI. And they won the championship last year. I think it was against Orange Lutheran in that championship game. So we'll see if the Panthers can go back-to-back. They should. They're the #1 team in the nation. I know there's a lot of pressure with that, but also they've got their own expectations, man. They feel like they are the best team, and they're going to have to go out there and prove it each and every time because everyone's going to give them their best game every time you play mighty Corona. All right, when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, man, we're going to go from Corona High School to Aquinas High School. Two of the best teams, period. I don't care if you're in California, the nation, the southern section, wherever you're looking, man. The Aquinas Falcons have a great team. They are highly ranked, one of the top teams in the state of California right now. I know they've got big plans. I was talking to Coach Wise. I even said this, Coach Carpentier at Aquinas, that last time I saw both those two teams, they played each other, right, in the Division I quarterfinals just last season. So they might see each other in the playoffs again this upcoming year. So we'll see how it all pans out. But when we come back, we will have the Aquinas Falcons here on the Inland Sports Show right after this.
And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken. And as the football season wraps up across Southern California, turn to Sanitation Solutions for comprehensive laundry and athletic equipment services. They can take care of your weekly uniform laundry and end-of-season equipment inventory. And if you'd like to promote your business or organization on the show, send us an email. Help us share the positive sports stories here in the Inland Empire.
What up, y'all? Boostman here with a quick 2 cent. Parents, there's no better place for kids to learn how to control their emotions than through sports. There's nothing wrong with competing with emotion. The key is how we use them. Channeling your emotions to work harder, focus more, and compete with intensity is encouraged. But when emotions lead to negative outcomes, this can be detrimental to athletes. That's why it's important that parents model emotional control for their kids. Screaming and arguing with refs, blaming coaches, or getting worked up at other kids on the field are terrible examples of emotional control. So if you want your athlete to keep their emotions in check, be the example. Boostman.
The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun.
Hey guys, this is Jason at Ken Sporting Goods. We're almost to 1,000 Instagram followers. Tell your friends, like us, come down, see us. Thank you so much for your loyalty.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. If you're watching us, give this video a like. Please share it as well and subscribe to the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. My name is Pep Fernandez. This might be the biggest baseball show of the season, man. We've got the Aquinas Falcons now joining us here as we do more from the high school diamond. The Falcons made school history becoming the first Aquinas sports team, period, any sport, to make the Division I playoffs in the CIF Southern section. So they went Division I last year. They had a great year, and now that expectation, that bar has been raised to the very top. I know Coach Carpentier out there at Aquinas, he wants to play the best, and he wants to beat the best. He wants to be on top. And through the first 14 games of the year, they are 13-1. So far, so good for the Aquinas Falcons, including a National Classic Championship as they took on Cypress, and that is our Big Boost Play of the Week. Inland Sports. Check this out. Let's take you out to Cypress High School. Host Cypress taking on our Aquinas Falcons in the championship game, and Chase Davidson had himself a day. Davidson, the solo jack to left field, up and out. That thing is gone. Davidson with the solo ride there. Then later in the game, he also had an RBI single for the Aquinas Falcons to help them beat Cypress for the tournament championship by a final score of 2-1. And that's our Big Boost Play of the Week. We've got more with Chase, Mason Greenhouse, Carter Hadnot, and of course, Coach Carp right here on the Inland Sports Show right now. Inland Sports. And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. These guys are off to a 13-1 start. They have some big quality wins already under their belt, including a National Classic Championship. We got Coach Carpentier and some of the Aquinas Falcons join us here on the show. And Coach Carp, man, the first question I wanted to ask you was, I saw you guys early on in the season, and you guys are scoring a lot of runs. And I look at the last couple of games against some really good teams, and they're like low-scoring ball games with great pitchers going head-to-head. Is it kind of exciting as the head coach to see your team being able to win, ball games different ways? You guys can score a lot of runs, or you can get down and dirty and win a 1-0 or 2-1 game.
Yeah, we've had some tough competition over the last couple of weeks. A little bit bigger and better tournaments that we've been trying to get ourselves in. And, we lost to a close game to Huntington Beach 3-1. And after the game, I told the boys, I said, look, you can be a good team, but you got to find a way to win the big games. And, over the last week, I think our last 5 games are 1-run ball games. And it just goes to show, the hard work and the grittiness that we have as a ball club.
All right, Coach, 13-1 through the first 14 games of the season. What did you learn about this team that maybe you didn't know at the start of the year? Did you find anything out about these guys?
Well, I know we can get into the trenches with anybody. When you're facing the Cypresses and the Liberties and the Bishop Mormons and the Santa Margaritas, you can't lie down at any moment. And, with the grittiness that we have and the perseverance that we have, I think we can compete with anybody out there. And obviously that's the goal for us, is to be able to compete with, the best teams in Orange County, the best teams in LA, whether it's teams from out of state or whatever it is, I'll go to war with these guys at any time.
All right, Coach, we've got a couple of your studs with you as well. Mason Greenhouse, Chase Davidson, Carter Hadnot. And, guys, I'm going to start with Mason here. And, Mason, I saw you guys last year, get to the Division I quarterfinals, played a very good Corona team. What's the goals for this year's squad? I know there's, a lot of guys back, and you guys probably want to go deep into the playoffs again. But what kind of goals do you have for the team this year, Mason?
Yeah, absolutely. Our goal this year is for sure winning that championship. Bringing whatever it has to offer, bringing to the table. Everybody on the team playing their part and stepping up in the moments that count really for us. And for us to go far, we really have to believe in ourselves, which we already do. And it's showing, but we're only getting better as the season goes on. And this year is something special, and super excited, and we all have the same goal for this year, which is winning that championship.
Mason, as good as you guys have been, where do you feel like this team can maybe even get better? Like, there's still a better version of Aquinas that we're going to see later on in the season.
Yeah, absolutely. We're still growing together, becoming one whole team. And as the season goes on, you're really going to understand who we really are on the field, what we can do, all of our tools will show. And so it's going to be a better version of Aquinas as we keep playing. I know we had those close chippy games, 1-0. 8-7, 5-6, and it's just part of baseball. So we're gonna keep it rolling, and we're gonna stay hot from here.
All right, good stuff, Mason. Let me go to Chase Davidson, who had himself a game in that National Classic Championship against Cypress. Home run, knocked in another run. Chase, how special was that game for you? Build a lot of confidence?
That moment, hitting that home run, putting my team up, it was amazing. Got the energy going, got the dugout hyped. Played a lot of baseball this last 2 weeks, so just finding the spark in that game really helped us continue throughout that game and pull out the W.
Chase, like I asked Coach early on in the season, you were beating teams. I don't know, it was like 16-1. I don't have the scores in front of me, but it was like blowouts, right? And then you play some of these really good high caliber teams, and they're like one-run games. How do you think you guys are better in the long run, playing some close games, playing really good teams, close games, and finding a way to win those close games?
Playing at a divisional level, not only last year but this year as well. Let's be honest, there's not going to be a lot of blowouts in the divisional level. We have the team that keeps grinding throughout the season in the weight room, hitting. We hit every day, so just keep timely hitting and one-run games. We should be able to win.
All right, good stuff, Chase. Let me go to Carter. And Carter, starting at the varsity level for an elite program like Aquinas, doing that as a freshman, coming back as a sophomore, what was that experience like as a freshman, just getting all those games under your belt? Do you feel like you've grown and improved from your freshman year to where you are right now?
Yeah, I feel like I've grown a lot. There was a lot of guys on the team last year who helped me grow as a person. Mike keeps helping me grow as a person. I'm still learning things as a sophomore. Like, these guys next to me help me every day. My teammates strive me to be better every day. And it was great. Last year was a great run. We played some great games, a Notre Dame game, still a great game. So I feel like I've grown as a person, as a player.
Carter, do you feel like your role is maybe a little bit different this year? Considering you're a veteran now, right? This is your second season playing varsity baseball. Do you feel like maybe last year you're like, okay, I'm just going to try to learn the ropes and hang with the older guys, and now you're like, okay, I am one of the older guys, one of the veterans out there, and I know Coach leans on you a lot, defensively, offensively, to do a lot of things on this ball club.
Yeah, I feel like last year it didn't feel like I was like a younger guy. I still felt like I had to lead a certain way, This year I'm still trying to lead and make sure everybody's energy's up, everybody's doing good, nobody's slacking. So
All right, Carter, let me go back to Coach Karp to wrap things up. And Coach, I'm just curious, do those state rankings, whether it's Max Preps or anybody else, or those national rankings, even the CIF Southern Section ranks all 350 schools or whatever it is, so you guys kind of get an idea where you fall in with everybody else. Do you keep an eye on those? Do those matter to you, or is it just going out there and winning ball games at this point of the season?
Pep, honestly, we're overlooked out here in the Inland Empire a little bit, and our goal is obviously the one goal is to win it all. It's fun to see those kind of things come out, and they're in your head at 1 minute, they're gone. It's back to work, But like I said, sometimes we feel as a group and as a school, we get overlooked a little bit out here. So, we're out to change things and let people know that teams out here in the IE can compete. And that's kind of the way we go about things. But yeah, it's fun to see those kind of things. I mean, the kids have a good time with them, all the social media stuff, but they know when it's go time, it's go time.
Coach, I think last year you guys made school history being the first team at Aquinas in any sport to be Division I for the CIF Southern Section playoffs, getting to the quarterfinals, playing the eventual champion. This year, do you feel like, hey, this team's ready to take that next step in semifinals or championship and, win the whole thing?
Last year we had a great team, but we learned from having a great team. So a lot of these guys were involved last year, and obviously they know the things that need to be changed to be better for this year. We're still, a younger team this year also. So obviously, having that in our corner, with the players coming back and the caliber of the players that we had coming back, it made it a lot easier for us this year. The maturity level is a lot higher also.
Well, Coach, man, you guys are off to a great start. I know later this week, I think you've got Full disclosure, as we do this interview, it's on Tuesday. You play ACA, which they got a pretty good team on Wednesday, and I think it's Woodcrest coming up on Saturday. So I know some Ambassador League games are coming up for you guys. But 13-1, beating some really good teams to start the season, and highly ranked. Whatever rankings or poll you're looking at, Aquinas is going to be near the top. And so, Coach Karp, congratulations so far on the season so far. But I know probably, I can't put words in your mouth, but I'm assuming none of this means anything unless you guys continue to do this right throughout the season.
One goal, Pep, and that's it.
Coach Carpentier, we got Mason Greenhouse, Chase Davidson, Carter Hadnot here. Join us on the Inland Sports Show. Guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate the time. Best of luck against the Eagles and the Royals this week.
Thanks, Pep.
Inland Sports.
All right, so that's the Aquinas Falcons here. Join us on the Inland Sports Show. Man, a great program out there. A lot of talent as well. And they'll probably be Division I for the playoffs again. But first things first, win that Ambassador League title. There's some good teams in league. As we do this show on Wednesday night, the Falcons played Arrowhead Christian earlier today. ACA's got a good team, and then Aquinas is going to play Woodcrest Christian on Saturday, and then on Sunday they hit the road for Las Vegas to play in that All Faiths Classic, playing some really good out of the area teams, right? Some of the best private schools in our region. So best of luck to the Aquinas Falcons. All right, that's going to take us into another quick commercial break. When we come back, we got highlights of the 66ers. We're going to talk some Cajon Baseball, Norco Softball, and Riverside Poly Boys Volleyball. That's next here on the Inland Sports Show right after this.
And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco. #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Chick-fil-A in Yucaipa, right off the 10 freeway at Yucaipa Boulevard. Eat more chicken. And as the football season wraps up across Southern California, turn to Sanitation Solutions for comprehensive laundry and athletic equipment services. They can take care of your weekly uniform laundry and end-of-season equipment inventory. And if you'd like to promote your business or organization on the show, send us an email. Help us share the positive sports stories here in the Inland Empire. Well, look who it is. We are back here at the Boost Performance Center with another gridiron question with the one and only Coach Ray Bass. And Coach Bass, we've heard a lot about schools that, they want the kids who are held back here, maybe for various different reasons, to get some sort of a competitive advantage. Are those schools really necessary?
Absolutely. First, I think it's important to say that not all of these schools are created equal. And I think it's important that we start to change the conversation surrounding these types of schools and manage parents' expectations. So if you're a parent who wants your kid to go to a school like this because you want them to receive an athletic scholarship, well, only 2% of high school athletes receive a scholarship. And no matter how many schools like this that pop up, I don't believe those numbers are gonna change. But if you're the parent of a student who wants to play sports in college, then the conversation needs to be, what can I do as a parent to put my kid in a position to achieve that? There's a lot that goes into earning athletic scholarship that doesn't always have to do with talent. So to go to a middle school that prioritizes academics, that prepares student athletes physically, and instills a strong work ethic, that can be very powerful going into high school. So we need to change the conversation surrounding these schools from, I want my child to become the best athlete so they can earn an athletic scholarship, to using athletics as the engine for greater achievement in life.
It all makes sense, and you heard it right here from the Boost man, Ray Bass. Again, this is the Gridiron question. If you've got a question you'd like to ask Coach, make sure you hit Boost Training on Instagram, Twitter, and all the social media platforms. They'd love to hear from you.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. Thank you guys so much for watching us here on Wednesday night. We really appreciate it. We do it each and every week to keep you up to date what's going on sports-wise here in the Inland Empire. Heavy emphasis on the high school stuff, little college, little pro teams as well. Speaking of the Inland Empire 66ers, they just opened up their season. They played on the road at Visalia. They got swept, actually, the first 3 games of the year. But then they came back home, and it was a different result for our guys. So go ahead and sound the horn. Take you out to San Manuel Stadium, the home of the 66ers. Good crowd out there for a Tuesday night. And as we mentioned, the Sixers opened up on the road at Visalia, and they lost 3 in a row, but they came home to that home cooking at San Manuel Stadium. We heard that horn quite a bit out there. Ooh, man, that guy took a pitch right off the helmet. That's Espinal. He's one of those top prospects for the Angels. He would be okay. It would be a big 3rd inning for the Sixers as they go on to defeat the Fresno Grizzlies, who used to be a AAA team. Now they're in the California League as a single-A team. But the Sixers beat them by a final score of 10-3 for their first win of the season. I know there's some cool promotions coming up for the Sixers, including like fireworks on Fridays. And I think there's a Star Wars night coming up as well. But it was a great way to have the home opener get that big win 10-3. This was kind of a controversial call. First it was a triple, then they ruled it a home run, and then they sent the runner back on base. So, you know what? It was opening night, and I think some of the umpires are still figuring it out as well. But anyway you slice it, it was a 10-3 66ers win against the Fresno Grizzlies. All right, next up, speaking of San Manuel Stadium, myself, Jeff Gorham, and Dennis Pope, we were all at the County Clash this past Saturday. Some great baseball games. In fact, there's 4 games in a row. The first game of the day was Yucaipa taking on Cajon in a critical Citrus Belt League game. The CBL is going to be up for grabs this season. Rev had a big 2-1 win against Citrus Valley. And then Cajon versus Yucaipa was kind of the big other game, I guess you would say, as they start trying to jockey for position for that top spot in the CBL. We had the game live on IEMG. Jeff Gorham and Dennis Pope were on the calls, doing some stuff behind the scenes. The whole game, you can watch it live on the Inland Empire Media Group YouTube channel right now. But we condensed it down to about 2 minutes of the top plays and the highlights as Cajon won on a walk-off. Bases loaded, hit by a pitch. Game over.
That ball is going to be in the dirt, and that will bring in a run. So Connor White will trot down to first. Have ourselves here a full count. Yucaipa leading 2-1. That ball's hit hard to the first baseman, and he's going to get out of the jam. So Pashman goes up 2 outs. Gives up a few walks, a couple hits, but no runs come across. That's going to be a chopper over them and no play, so we're going to have runners at first and third with no outs. Cajon knocking on the doorstep to tie in this ball game. Salazar hits it. They're going to go home for the force. to get the first out of the inning. Great play from the shortstop, Cordero. And Rubio will tie the ball game with an RBI here in the bottom of the 7th. The bases remain loaded with 1 out. And that'll do it. That is a walk-off hit batter as Coster takes the shot to the arm, and Ukaipa, after leading for 7 innings, I should say, go down to defeat 3-2 to Cajon on the hit batter. A tough ball game if you are Ukaipa, but a great comeback if you are Cajon.
All right, that was a nice win for Cajon against Ukaipa. Did not look good going into that final inning, but a big rally for the Cowboys. Wasn't pretty, but they got the job done. Here is head coach Robert Grande talking about that win for his Cowboys. And, like I said, it wasn't pretty, but they still found a way to win.
Welcome to high school baseball. Once again, sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't. And early on in the game, we hit the ball pretty hard at people, and they made some great plays. Their shortstop's a real solid baseball player. And once again, they made some great pitches, and we just had to keep battling throughout the game. That was a great win for our program, and I'll say it's a highlight win for the year. And once again, that's a great program with a great tradition. PJ's doing an incredible job with those kids over there, and they're very solid. We just play baseball. That mindset is that it's not done until that last out, and we just kept grinding away. Taking good at bats, not swinging at bad pitches, and kind of just living in that moment. I don't think there's a CBL game that is not important. Once again, everything counts. And title aside, it's from inning to inning, pitch to pitch, out to out. And that's kind of how we've been playing this season is let's win the out. Let's win this inning. And going up there against Ukaipa, once again, being down late, it was a good victory for our program.
All right, that's Coach Grande from Cajon High School following that walk-off win against Ukaipa at the County Clash. All right. Transitioning from the baseball diamond to the softball diamond. If you've noticed, the CIF Southern Section, they've adopted this new playoff format for all sports. Football was the first one where they don't put you in a playoff division at the beginning of the year. You don't know until you actually go to the playoffs which playoff division you'll be in. But with that said, you still kind of have a general idea what division you might be in. And they've been putting out these power rankings where they rank all the schools in the Southern Section. There's over 300, but they rank them all. And right now, the number one softball team is the Norco Cougars. Not a big surprise, right? They are currently number one on the rankings, and they're going to take their show on the road to take on the King Wolves in Big 8 League play. Norco's coming off a 4-2 road win at Centennial earlier this week, but it's always tough to win on the road at King. The Wolves should give them a good game, but Norco is the number one team for a reason. Rick Robinson and Norco Softball is a staple here in the Inland Empire. Nothing has changed. They're always good. The players, it's always new players each season, but he keeps it going on, and they got another good squad. I'm sure it's, Division I championship or bust out there in Horsetown. So that's our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game this week. Norco and King going head-to-head on Thursday in Riverside. Our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game. All right, and finally in this episode, we want to give a shout-out to the Riverside Poly Boys Volleyball team. Last year, they went to the CIF Southern Section Division VI championship match. They lost to a very good Samueli Academy team. But head coach Manny Savalza and his Bears are good again, reloading for another championship run. The Bears were taking on JW North just last night in Ivy League action, and it was the Bears winning in 3 straight. The first set, kind of back and forth. The Huskies were battling, but the Bears would prevail. They are 19-3 on the season. They look like they're probably a Division IV playoff team this season, but again, you never know until you actually know when the brackets come out. But the Bears are good again. We'll have more highlights coming up on Riverside TV, the Inside Riverside show. We got a little sports segment there, so look for more on Riverside Poly Boys Volleyball coming up this week. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Inland Sports Show. If you've made it this far, go ahead and subscribe to the Inland Sports Show channel. Give this video a like. Even hit that notification bell if you want to. We'd appreciate it as we try to keep you up to date on the latest here in the IE. You can also find us all over social media, X, Instagram. We still do Facebook a little bit. You can find us there. And, of course, the YouTube channel. And, yeah, we'd appreciate it, man. We love bringing you these great sports stories here in the Inland Empire, covering our teams and coaches and athletes. We also want to give a shout-out to our local businesses who support us so we can have that privilege to bring you great local sports coverage. Ken Sporting Goods, who has been with us since the start. They are the best. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass, man. Love that guy. We got Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. If you want a great smile, there's only one place to go, Paulson Orthodontics. He is awesome. And finally, Chick-fil-A, specifically in Yucaipa. Dave Rodriguez, the owner, a personal friend. That guy is the man, too. Big sports fan. All these places, they're big sports fans. They are like-minded, and we appreciate their support. So we can do this. So we can go out, interview, get highlights, and do all those sorts of things to bring you great content here from the Inland Sports Show coverage area in the Inland Empire. All right, that's going to do it for this edition. We appreciate you watching. Good night, everybody. God bless. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. I'm Pep Fernandez. See you next time.